Good afternoon and welcome back to Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Kevin Robinson. Time now to check on travel conditions around the nation. And rescue crews had their hands full Tuesday in Tucson, Arizona, after heavy rain created flooding in parts of the city. As a result, several people were trapped in their cars. As much as 4 inches of rain fell during the downpours yesterday. Now, the floodwaters also washed several trailer homes off their foundations and flooded many more homes. And now, as we first go to southeastern Arizona, we do have a flood watch out for this afternoon, and that makes perfect sense given the fact that the ground is saturated out there, and there certainly is the possibility of more afternoon and evening thunderstorms coming up later today. Here's a close-up shot of the Phoenix radar right now, and around the Tucson area things are fairly quiet, but you do see around the rim and some of the higher elevations the monsoon is beginning to get active on this Wednesday. And you can also see that blossoming across sections of Mexico and Colorado, a few showers across Big Sky country at this hour. Here's a look at your travel weather for your Wednesday evening. Some showers across Montana. Could see some severe weather, though, across southeastern Wyoming and then back up into the Dakotas. That's with that big curl of low pressure right along the U.S.-Canadian border. And, of course, we've already talked about the threat for some of those monsoonal afternoon and evening showers across Arizona. What about the delays for today? How are the conditions looking out west? You're looking great in Los Angeles and San Diego. No problems around Portland. As we head to the southeast, it's this old front that's giving us a few headaches, and we're also beginning to watch Katrina out there in the Bahamas at this hour. Here's what things are looking like. Look for a general threat of afternoon and evening storms across the southeast today along Interstate 20, maybe from Vicksburg to Jackson, and then on up towards Birmingham and Atlanta, and then along Interstate 10 along the Gulf Coast and just about any of the interstates across Florida today. Certainly could see a few afternoon and evening storms. What about the radar image? Well, you can see it's that time of the day, folks. Like clockwork, that's where we see those afternoon and evening storms beginning to develop. Look at this, big time storms, and Kristina has more on that with heavy rain across central sections of South Carolina. And we have some storms developing to the south and east of Naples. Look like a few downpours heading towards Key Largo, and this larger mass of moisture is the outermost edge of our tropical storm. And here's a precipitation forecast across the southeast, and we've been emphasizing the fact that flooding could be a major issue for those of you in southeast Florida. Here's a look at projected rainfall. Rainfall amounts of at least an inch through tomorrow evening, so we'll keep a close eye on that. Here's your forecast for your Thursday across the southeast. Of course, it'll be wet across much of the sunshine state of Florida with afternoon and evening storms for your Friday across the lower Mississippi River Valley. Meanwhile, it's going to stay downright hot across the Red River Valley of Texas and Oklahoma. Heading into your Saturday, washout weather at the theme parks in both Orlando and Tampa, and we'll see the threat for scattered storms across the Arklatex. Here's a look at your airport delays across the southeast right now, and we're still dealing with about a 50-minute delay here in Atlanta. Up to 15 minutes at Houston's airport. The Metroplex looking pretty good. High pressure dominating the Great Lakes and the Ohio River Valley, providing gorgeous weather, but where that front tails back across Kansas and Oklahoma, we are seeing some wet weather like around Wichita. So along Interstate 35 could see some unsettled weather as well around Interstate 70 from, let's say, Kansas City over towards Salina. Now, here's a threat for some severe weather across the Dakotas, Interstates 94, maybe even 90. What about airport delays at this hour? How are things looking? Well, we're about 15-minute delays now holding up around the Chicago's O'Hare. Of course, that's the nation's second busiest airport. Could see some ripple effects at some of the other airports. And in the Northeast, how are things looking for today? Well, we are generally in great shape. Most of the Northeast is dry, although with this extremely cool air across sections of Maine and New Hampshire, we have seen some spotty showers beginning to develop. So the weather could be a little wet along Interstate 95 from Augusta to Portland. Otherwise, magnificent weather conditions are expected across the interior sections and in all of the big cities. Kristina?
Well, if you're heading out for a trip today, you might want to take along your umbrella in some parts of the country, and that includes the Charleston area, where we are seeing very heavy and persistent rains. As a matter of fact, a flash flood warning is in effect here, and look out from Charleston Airport, North Charleston to Daniel Island. That's where we're seeing some of that heavy rain. Don't drive your car through areas where water covers the road. And stay tuned for today's safety report. Jennifer Lopez reviews the importance of creating an emergency safety kit.
Natural disasters often occur with little warning. A sudden storm could leave you without water, electricity, or phone for days. Without a few necessary supplies, you may find it hard to get by. So prepare in advance. Organize an emergency disaster kit for you and your family. Begin with the basics: flashlights, fresh batteries, canned food, bottled water, and a first aid kit. Include a few other things too, like a manual can opener, a battery-powered radio, a change of clothes, and a little money. Also look into having an alternative power source for your home. Portable generators can provide short-term power. Permanent ones can automatically come on to power everything you need in your home. Backup power and an emergency kit are two ways to ensure that when disaster strikes, you'll be prepared to ride out the storm. For the Weather Channel, I'm Jennifer Lopez.